Today we're working on Oma, the 1992 Honda Accord, Jenna's car, and recently we noticed that it was leaking coolant and also having some issues starting. After popping the hood, we realized that there was a crack along the radiator, and it actually looked like someone had tried to patch it in the past, and eventually it just corroded through again. So we were actually waiting on a brand new radiator to show up. We're gonna go ahead and take the old one out, do a radiator swap and coolant flush, and we'll see if that maybe helps Oma's starting issues and get this Accord running a little bit better. Show you guys real quick what we're talking about. Obviously we have a bunch of coolant pooling up here, and it's leaking from right there, and it's basically, I don't know if the camera will show it, but it's been patched up before, and as the coolant gets hotter and hotter and there's air bubbles in the system, it just heats up and recreates this crack along here. So we figure better to just replace the whole radiator and get this thing back to running like a top. The Accord is now up on jack stands. We had this tin pan laying around, so we're gonna use it to collect the coolant. We have to flush the entire system out, and we're gonna go ahead and remove the upper radiator hose, the lower radiator hose. We gotta move an AC line out of the way. But first, the reason we had to lift it up is we need to get this belly pan off. That way we can get the drain plug out and drain out all of the coolant from the radiator. With this belly pan just hanging down, we've got access to some of the radiator, the lower portion of the radiator. We've got the drain plug here. We've got the lower radiator hose there, and we've also got a couple other little hoses we need to take off. So without removing this pan here, it would be quite difficult, if not impossible, to get these hoses off. So that was step one. Next, we're gonna undo the drain plug, open up the top cap so it can breathe, and we're gonna drain out all the fluid. We were able to get the old radiator out, undid all the hoses, and pulled it up out of the motor that way. And all the coolant is now out and drained, and literally just in time, we got our new radiator. This one is our new Denso radiator, and this is the old one with the fan still mounted on it. So I need to go ahead and back out these 10 mils to get these fans off, mount them onto the new radiator, and everything looks the same. All the orientations on all the hoses seem to be the same, so it should be pretty much plug and play here. I kind of skipped some stuff here off camera, so we went ahead and installed the radiator, put all the mounts back on the same way we took them off, got all the hoses reattached, and put this canister back in. This guy you literally just pull right out. There's nothing but a little bracket on the back side that it seats into, so just pull this straight up to put it in and out. And then we got a new radiator cap. This Denso radiator did come with a new drain plug. I forget what the fancy term is for that. Put it down in the comments if you know. And then it did not come with a new radiator cap, so we did go ahead and order a new one, like so. So we're gonna go ahead and put coolant in this, bleed it, and that should hopefully wrap up this install. So we finally got Oma started. We went to bleed the coolant. We tried to start the car, but it wouldn't start. And Jenna's been having starting issues with this thing for a while. I thought maybe there was air in the coolant system, which would have explained the crack in the old radiator and air getting in that way. But on top of that, we found out that she also had a bad main relay. So we went ahead and just replaced it, and things started right up on the first try. The coolant system is bled. It's got a new main relay, and hopefully it's gonna run and start a lot better. So the Prelude's been running actually great. I haven't really had any issues with it. So the next thing I'm still needing to work on and tackle is the body, the paint, and all the rust issues around the fender wells. I need to address all of this and get all like the little dimples and things out of this car, and just get it back to kind of perfect shape. The Prelude is chilling for now. I do have some big news, kind of just personal news that is gonna influence the Prelude, so I'm gonna address that here in an upcoming video, but stay tuned for that. And moving on, the Tacoma is also doing well. Motor-wise, it's running great, and the only thing I'm noticing is that it needs leaf springs. Like, I'm pretty sure leaf springs are supposed to be bending the other way and not like that. They're definitely supposed to be like that. So I am due for new leaf springs on this truck, and to be honest with you, I really want to get rid of this freaking body lift. And I think just cost-wise, it's gonna be a lot cheaper to get rid of the body lift first and then do the suspension lift afterwards and replace all of the leaf springs and the front suspension. So I think what I'm gonna do is get the kit that I need, the new bushings for the cab mounts and the truck bed, and basically get rid of the body lift, the 3-inch body lift that is on this truck. And then after that, then we'll address the suspension and get it lifted up properly with like a nice 2 to 3 inch Old Man Emu lift. Or if you guys have a recommendation on a lift kit, put it down in the comments. But of course, we can't forget about our sweet Oma, who is now running so much better. It's not leaking radiator fluid. It is not having the issue starting anymore. The main relay seemed to have fixed that, and I don't remember if I mentioned it, but if you guys are in a similar situation with your Accord or older Honda and it's thinking the main relay is keeping it from starting, your main relay is actually right down there by your interior fuse box. You kind of have to remove a module to get to it, but there's plenty of videos out there to show you guys how to do it. I just want to let you know, if you're having trouble starting your CB7 Accord, check the main relay. It could be that it's just not turning on your fuel pump and providing fuel to the motor like ours was. And like I said, I do have an update, a personal kind of like life update that is gonna basically possibly pull me away from the channel for a little bit, but at the same time, it might also mean that I'll be creating more content. So I'm gonna share that with you guys in an upcoming video. Stay tuned for that one. And as always, just, you know, hit that like button if you enjoyed it, comments below what you guys wanna see next, and I will see you in the next one. Keep elevating. Adios.